release from in the morning.
I think you're making excuses for dealers. The fact of the matter is that's a completely irrelevant piece of information.
I get it.
Thanks for joining us. Welcome to a Refresh Friday. What's today, September 8th?
September 8th it is.
It is.
Let's talk about Digital Dealer. Their headquarters is down around Fort Lauderdale. They may not even have power next week. They may not even have flights to be able to get to Las Vegas, potentially.
They might want to leave now.
Yeah.
They may have. I've lived in Florida for 20 years. I was FEMA certified when I was in the dealership. I handled the emergency planning for our store. And this storm is the scariest I'd ever seen.
When I hit the shorelines, that's where I like to hit the Delaware. I'm not a fan of Ocean City, of course. I enjoyed Rehoboth Beach.
I loved it. I never knew it was a gay vacation paradise until I left.
That's why you kept going back.
Right. No, those beaches are nice. They got little quaint. I think it was Rehoboth had the nice boardwalk and stuff, and it wasn't. And I was married. Yes.
Should I bring that picture up of him in his Speedo? So we talked about in last week's broadcast on Refresh Friday, which was really on the heels and the tail end of Harvey, really speaks to the idea of cause marketing, which is a whole nother way that dealers can get involved with the community. So I'm going to bring that forum thread up. But Ryan, if I could maybe segue over to you.
For those of you that don't know me, I lost a child to cancer in 2015, and it would have destroyed me if it weren't for my friends in this industry. I wear a pin, and that pin belonged to my son. So I wore it on an interview to go speak with Marco Schnabel, who is the founder of Automotive Mastermind, and he asked me about my pin. So I told him about a 2-year battle with a disease that didn't have a cure for a kid that was 10. When we wrapped up, he said to me, Ryan, I don't care if you work for me. If this doesn't work out, that's fine, but I want to help you with this. I knew that minute this is where I wanted to be, and I wanted to work with people that had that kind of passion and shared a passion that I had. Where does this all tie into what we're talking about today? The employee retention, which is kind of an issue for the industry. Showing up for a paycheck is not what the next generation of employees are about. The idea of gainful employment is not 2.5 kids and a white picket fence for millennials. They're definitely passionate about causes, and I think as an industry we need to start thinking about that. We're all in it together is one of these things you hear people say, but until I think it was Brad Pascal that said this to me. I might be misquoting him, but he said there's a difference when you're in the trenches building a houses for humanity or whatever it is. I can't remember the name. But he said there's a difference in the kinship that's built there than when you're looking at a P&L statement. There's some shared experience that really does create that camaraderie you need to be successful in the business. It's really important to me that we define terms because I think there's a difference between charitable giving and cause marketing. They're both important and they're both good.
Yeah, those are important semantics.
It's not the same thing. I think the difference, if you want to just put it into very simple terms, the difference between cause marketing and charitable contributions is the time frame. It's the commitment over time that makes it work. If you look at what Hyundai has done with Hope on Wheels, they've been donating to this since '98, and they've raised $130 million in grants that they've given to hospitals to help find a cure. That's a long time to commit to one cause.
Cause marketing, is something that you get behind over the long term that fits in with your vision, adds a lot of value, and it's getting behind that cause. And so that's a really good distinction. Dealers can be a resource with nonprofit charitable organizations.
This conversation is amazing. There's so much potential for dealers to impact their community. Thanks so much for joining us on Refresh Friday. We'll see you next week.